Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Grand Prime. Now, since this is a primed weapon, the only way to get it is to assemble it from its primed parts, which you can either get yourself by opening specific relics or by buying the parts from other players. Relics, however, are rotated in and out of the game quite frequently, so I will leave a link to the official Grand Prime Wikipedia website, so you can check it out and see which relics you want to go for, or if they're even available at the time of you watching this video. The Grand Prime is a Mastery Rank 14 heavy blade that does primarily slash damage, but it still has a decent amount of impact and then just a little bit of puncture on the side. It comes with an absolutely massive 32% crit chance and above average 2.6 times crit multiplier and very nice 32% status chance, and it has good range. The only not so great thing about the Grand Prime is that it is fairly slow. It has a base attack speed of 0.8. So when we compare it to the standard Gram, you can see that it's an absolutely gargantuous upgrade over the standard Gram. It's a little bit slower and it doesn't do quite as much puncture damage, but everything else is miles ahead of the basic Gram. Now, as far as the build is concerned, we're gonna go with a pretty standard hybrid setup, though in this case I do like to double down on attack speed, so I have Berserker Fury and Gladiator Vice, which helps with the attack speed, but also adds a little bit of extra crit scaling too. Everything else is pretty standard: Condi Overload for the damage, Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds for crit and status scaling, Organ Chatter for crit damage, and then Unranked Vicious Frost and Virulent Scourge for just a little bit of viral. You will have to get combo sustain somewhere else though. You're either gonna have to go with the Naramon Focus School, or you're gonna have to get a Dexterity Arcane on your primary or secondary. Now, if you can't or don't want to do that, you're gonna have to take out Gladiator Vice and put combo duration there, okay? Now, it's probably not gonna be a big surprise when I tell you that this setup on this weapon shreds pretty much everything in just a couple of swings. It doesn't matter which stance you use, which faction you're going up against, you're gonna demolish them even in Steel Path. There is a bit of a ramp up on the damage, of course, because we are running Condition Overload, but it's really not that big of a deal, especially if you're running Cleaving Whirlwind. So if you're looking for something that will slice the entire game in half, this is a pretty good choice. Now, the Grand Prime isn't perfect, of course. The attack speed is a bit of a bummer. You'd really need to run double attack speed to make it feel good, but other than that, it's pretty damn perfect. I don't even mind the higher impact damage on the weapon, because with shields and shield gating being what they are nowadays, it's actually quite nice to have some extra impact to bash down Corpus shields. Plus, it also makes Condition Overload a lot more reliable in a solo scenario if your companion isn't particularly good at proccing status on the enemies. So yeah, the Grand Prime, it's not perfect, but it's still an absolute monster of a melee weapon. And it will take you through the entire game, sorties and Steel Path included, on Zero Forma. You just need to slap it with a catalyst and you're good to go. So I'm gonna recommend the Grand Prime to pretty much anyone. It's a fun weapon that does a ton of damage. It's just great. And that's pretty much it for the video. So I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it helpful. And I will see you some other time. Bye bye.